Hi, I'm Brandon. I love Hallmark mysteries.
I'm Brian. I like Hallmark mysteries.
I'm Dan, and the Gilded Age rules, and this is the
Deck the Hallmark podcast.
Deck the Hallmark, it's his podcast. Brandon and friends host his podcast. We hope you like this jolly podcast.
Well, hello, all you wild and crazy kids.
Oh, hello.
Welcome to another episode of Deck the Hallmark Thursday edition. New movie. That's how it goes sometimes. When you got the way home, sometimes you got to way home it before you get to the other movie. That's the way it goes.
That's right. Yeah, way home took precedence. But we also spent time in the 1800s during that episode.
We've been to the 1800s a lot.
Yeah, it's getting to be
confusing.
Wait until you see who we interview tomorrow and where.
Mr.
And
1800?
when.
Graham Bell, anybody? You imagine if we pulled the ghost of
You've received a collect call. He's in prison.
He's Cody Frizz's roommate.
Yes, exactly right. Cody Frizz?
Are you on the line? Cody, are you there?
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Alexander's a B.
What?
Alexander's a B.
Yeah, I call him Alexander Graham B because he's a B.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's up, guys?
You're starting to sound a little bit like Henrik from Henrik
On the Nines?
He's been listening to him, probably.
No, it's not
He did
me.
have a message from you. He said, Cody, I love you so much.
I love you so much, Henrik.
Yeah, that's right.
Man, those
What's
guys.
up, guys?
Do you have
Cody
any
Frizz here.
ultimate Frisbee announcements for us?
I've been working on so many Ultimate Frisbee
Good.
things, you're not even going to believe it.
Can you limit it to two for us?
The President's Day Frisbee, get him out of here.
Yeah, that's coming up. Is that a political statement, Cody?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
The President's Day
Get 'em-
fitness, get him out of here?
Get him out of
Frisbee,
here.
get him out. What is
Yeah.
that? How does that work?
Basically, the goal is to play Frisbee and get as many people to think that I am real.
It's tough. It's a big ask.
Like they need to think that they themselves are real?
Yes.
Or that you are real?
No, the number one step of getting over this hump called life is to know that you are real.
And that's how you get over the hump called life?
Are you supposed to throw a Frisbee at some point?
All right, what's the other one? What's the other one, Cody?
You guys remember Groundhog Day? It just
It
happened.
just happened, yeah.
Yeah.
We're actually, I messed up my days. It's going to be March.
Yeah, that's a good day.
It's going to be March 2nd. Groundhog Day Frisbee Spectacular.
Okay. All right.
It's like a
play
throwback.
We play Frisbees with a bunch of groundhogs.
Yeah, man.
Peter's pissed.
Peter's not
Peter's
happy
pissed.
about this. Yeah, I can
They're
see
not
that.
happy about it.
The groundhogs have fun, though, at least, I hope.
They have so much fun till they
So
don't.
Peter's got to chill out. Oh, till they don't. All right. Maybe Peter's got a
man.
point.
Cody, thank you so much for
God
doing
bless.
doing the Lord's work there from
I
prison.
love you so much.
Love you too, buddy.
Cody's the best.
How about
Love hearing from him.
I do too. Gilded Newport
He's going
mystery.
to get that trial date.
You know what's
Soon.
sooner.
It's the plea bargaining system. I'm telling you right now, it's a
Boy,
problem.
100%.
Criminal justice
Oh, he
system.
won't. He won't take it. He
Yeah.
won't take the plea.
No,
And
he
that's
so
won't.
stubborn.
They're just making him
Man.
sit around, you know.
planning
And the
ultimate frisbee
bond for
competition.
what he did is $1 million.
It's like, it sounds doable.
And you can't even prove he was there.
No.
Again,
Oh, we shouldn't say anymore.
Frisbee-related crimes come with a hefty penalty.
that's exactly right. I
He's
was
so
worried.
brave.
I was worried about that President's Day getting him out of there, but I'm glad that he cleared it up
He
and that
cleared
it was
it
not
up.
a political statement
No.
accidentally.
No.
Because
Right
that
up.
would have been real tough. That would have been tough, and we
yes.
don't want any of that. We're not a
here.
political group.
No,
we're not a
here.
political group.
Yes,
we could go.
So we are registered as a nonprofit,
Yes.
obviously. So the money
We
is
are.
hidden in a shelter somewhere,
That'd be nice.
offshore.
Tax time.
Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
No more questions, please.
No more.
It's all up front. That's
Yeah,
kind
yeah,
of that's kind of the
Everything
thing.
in front.
Dan, you're a history teacher. You have been for 25 years.
Yes. No. 25
40
years ago, I was a junior in high school. Yes.
40,
47.
About 20
20 years.
Almost
Yeah.
About
going on
20
20.
years.
It's a lot of history.
You've been
It's
a
a lot of
coach for
history.
25 years.
Coach for close to that 22 since I was a junior in high school. Yes.
Since
So
that knee
25.
injury,
Yeah,
you
but
won't
a couple
stop
years old.
talking about.
Yes.
So, what is Gilded?
Gilded Age is the term Mark Twain gave to the era of United States history in the late
about
1800s.
Samuel Clemens?
Samuel Clemens. Because the Gilded Age is like things that look golden, but if you get into them, they're not actually golden.
I've
It
been
looks
called
on the
gilded.
surface like
Many
it
a
is
time.
golden.
There's
but once you
Brian
get into it,
Gilded
it's not.
Harold over there.
The
That's what
Gilded
they call
Harold.
me.
There he is.
There he is.
So yeah, that's why it's called the Gilded Age.
Thanks,
Basically,
Dan.
the time period from the end of Reconstruction, 1876 to 1900ish.
Sorry, so
Something like that.
the people thought there was going to be gold.
On the surface, it looks like the country made a lot of money and built great big things and had.
Oh, so
titans
it's
of industry.
retroactively known as the Gilded Age.
But if you look back, that was built on the backs of laborers who died like decades early because
man.
they had terrible working conditions and children in the factories and people earning less than they ever have and them thinking unions were communists. Like all that was terrible. Even though if you look back, we're like Rockefeller and Morgan
Yeah.
and Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt,
So
yes.
it's kind of a stylized era that actually was really bad for America.
I'm sure we will touch on all of that here.
For sure.
And we
And
did
the-
the get them out of there back then.
We
Yes,
did.
we did.
President's
Get 'em out.
Day,
1996
get them
was
out
a
of there.
massive.
We did get him out?
Get them out of there.
Okay, got it.
Oh yeah.
Man. So Gilded, you know what's interesting, by the way, really quick before we dive into this.
You acted like the word gilded was your cue to get back on track.
Yes.
Oh, gilded. Yeah. Gilded. Yeah.
Gilded. I'm
We're
seeing
back.
here Gilded.
Guilty here.
So far, this is our
Stop bubbly
going
water, buddy. We appreciate it.
going back to last year,
Yep.
2023, the year of our Lord. We haven't had a new mystery sequel yet. They just keep doing new
Yeah.
mystery
Just keep
series.
throwing them out
New
there, see
ones,
if we
yeah.
like them or not.
So I hope we get a sequel of something soon. I hope they land on something soon. Is all I'm saying. Is that too much to ask?
I think there's something coming right down the.
A fourth Curious Caterer.
Yeah, we're getting a
No, there's
fourth
another.
Yeah, I wasn't counting Curious Caterer though because that happened. That
They've been
was
doing
introduced
those,
before
yeah.
last year.
There's one from last
Right,
year we're
so-
getting, right? Have you heard about this one? What was it? The Paul Campbell one? No, I'm just serious. Yeah, I know.
Is
I
there
look
a
like
Cases of Mystery Lane?
I
There's
look
another
like a
one?
comedian with this hat. Yeah, Cases of Mystery Lane sequel is. I think what I saw is it's in the
She's
works,
googling it. She's googling
which
it.
would be a great one. We wanted a sequel.
I think
of
that would be one that I would take.
Yeah, see, they begin
Begins
production.
production.
Yeah,
Awesome.
not as dumb as I look, huh?
No, that's the original.
Come on.
Tough.
Okay. That,
All right,
you
let's
are
try that
dumb.
again.
You are as
I am
dumb.
as dumb
you,
as I
You
look.
are
I
Gilded.
take it
That's
back.
why they call
That's
you.
why they call me
There's
Brian
no
Gilded.
way you could be as dumb as you look right now.
Thank you. That means more
I
than
think
you
I
know.
saw what you saw though. It was some sort of production notice.
Yeah, there's something.
But it wasn't an official announcement.
guess not.
Didn't Victor
I guess-
Webster post something that he's going to be in a new Hannah Swenson mystery?
He did.
So there's one of those coming?
Yeah.
Yes.
But that's before
So the
this year.
sequels are coming.
Yes, but again, nothing of the ones they
That-
introduced.
yes,
They introduced like what,
G
5
Major,
last year?
Curious
5 or
Cases.
6 last
Yes,
year.
The Sleuth
yeah.
Sisters,
Yeah.
Sister
Sleuth
Sleuths.
Sisters, Family History Mystery.
Yeah,
Yes,
there were some good
they
ones.
introduced a handful last year, and we haven't seen a sequel
Yeah.
of any of those.
Yeah.
We've gotten a Curious Caterer
yeah.
last year. We're getting another Curious Caterer here this year. But when are we going to get a sequel of one of the new
Right.
ones? That's all I'm
That's a
asking.
good
Great question.
Well, not now, because it's time for a
Not
new
this
one.
weekend.
Gilded Newport Mysteries:
Easy.
Murder at the Breakers.
Breakers.
Murder at the Breakers. Watch the world die.
And it originally went a little something like
It originally went a little
So
something.
Gilded.
it gilded something like
He's
this.
doing this because he has 3 words for a synopsis.
Not true.
It is boring.
Not
13
true.
words.
Newport
And that,
Road,
my friends, was. Sorry, go ahead.
Newport, Rhode Island, 1895. Emma writes for the women's pages of the newspaper.
Sexist? Gosh.
Their words,
the
not
world,
mine.
the women's pages?
Their words, not mine.
Man, have some respect.
Lump it or leave
The
it.
women's pages? Unbelievable.
She tries to write about Susan B. Anthony, but her boss is like, how about you write about fashion, stuff that women are into? Again, their words, not mine. Her and her half-brother go to a ball. It's the summer of balls, if memory serves me from the
Yeah, they're
synopsis.
camping at the summer
Again,
balls.
their
yes.
words.
Yes, and her hair is curly.
Super curly.
I don't know how she got her hair that curly.
I made the synopsis, huh?
Is it natural
He's
or
got nothing. He's dealing with an empty chamber here.
Was it the
He's
humidity?
firing off all
Was it the
blanks.
humidity?
There is nothing that matters in the synopsis.
is it natural? Is it humid in Rhode Island? Or was there some sort of 1895 device that helped with those curls? I hope that we find out as the movie goes on. This hottie named Derek shows up. Surely he wants to inquire about them curls. But then a dude with sideburns shows up and asks for a dance. Next thing you know, sideburns guy falls to his death. She then discovers Brady, the stepbrother, upstairs on the floor with the candlestick.
In the conservatory.
That's exactly right. They assume he did it, but Emma is not buying it. She begins to work on this case with this hot detective. We all know his name. We're going to say it on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Leroy. I think he did it.
just read it. If you write it down, he'll read it.
Emma's curls remain the star of the movie. One night, someone puts a knife to her neck, so that's scary. Turns out, her best friend did it. She's the one responsible for all of it. And if I'm honest with...
Skip ahead much.
And if I'm honest with you, the curls uncurl a bit towards the end of this movie. I think they did this to demonstrate that Emma changes throughout this movie. As she's trying to figure out who done it, she begins to become more confident in herself, therefore no longer needing the curls.
Yeah.
You don't know what happened in this movie.
They set up a love triangle between her, the detective, we all know his name is Clarence, and the dance guy. So fun. And that, my friends, was Gilded Newport Mysteries, Murder at the Breakers.
Sure was.
I cannot in good conscience say we did it, because for everyone that worked on this movie,
Yeah, that's true.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You want to take a stab at it?
Who worked on it?
No, just to, you want to.
Oh, I thought you did a phenomenal job.
Fill stuff in.
Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back here on Deck the Hallmark Gilded Edition.
Or Gilded era.
So,
I'll say this: this episode is gilded in the fact that it seems like a good idea on the surface, but once you start listening, you're going to find not much here.
let's get to the let's get to the hot take. It's where we talk about what we thought about this movie. I'm going to start with you, Brian. Brian, what'd you think about this movie?
I didn't feel like there's anything really like bad or wrong with it. They really tried to take us there. We were in the Gilded Age. I felt like they did a lot to make it really like accurate and thorough, and that was really great. Great job. I was just a little bored by the story. I wasn't super into it. I feel bad about that because I know everybody worked really hard, including the horses, a lot of horses and carriages, and it's nice to see them getting work these days with technology the way that it is.
Is there a problem with the horses getting work?
No, it's good that they're getting work.
Okay.
Like
Just
it's
nice to see 'em
great.
is what you said.
Yeah,
That's
nice
the
to
other
see
thing.
them out there getting work. Like
You think a lot of horses are getting CGI'd out?
I'd say replaced by like electric cars and stuff, like as a transport
I
mode.
think for a Gilded Age
you know?
film, they've replaced the horses with electric
No,
cars.
just in general, like you didn't have to have any horses, and we probably wouldn't have been like, man, I wish we saw more horses. Like they didn't have to do it, but they did it. They went above and beyond. Aaron knows what I'm talking about.
I was thinking this whole movie, I wish we had more horses.
More horses. Well, I tried to get a bunch in there, I heard as well, and a lot don't cooperate.
Yeah.
So I guess they ran into some tech issues there.
They try to use like maybe donkeys instead.
Yeah, zebra. Unfortunately, I clocked this one from the first scene the murder was introduced in the movie. I said she did it, and the whole movie, all it did was convince me that she was the murderer the whole time. Like I was never like questioning, like maybe it was Mr. Mason or this other guy. Like I just knew immediately, and so for that reason.
Mr. Manager?
Mr. Manager. Yeah, for that reason, like usually I'm not that great with picking it up. And so the fact that I knew it and I just became more confident, and the curls loosening gave it away as well. So yeah, just, it was all right. I'm glad that they got to put this on the screen. And hey, shout out Newport, Rhode Island. Am I right?
Shout out to Newport cigarettes.
Yeah. No, I don't know.
Is that where the ciggies came from?
You dove right in on there. I said cigarettes. You're like, yeah. I mean, no, we don't.
No, I cannot condone.
Absolutely not.
No cigarettes in this movie.
None.
Horses though. Still getting work.
A few things that I like about this movie. One.
Well, you were correct. Newport cigarettes, Newport, Rhode Island.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you, Aaron.
It's fun to provide some history there.
I appreciate
Takes
that.
away from my shout out a little bit.
Shout out to
support that.
Brian loves cigarettes.
No,
and wants
the candy
you
ones,
and
remember?
your child listening with you to smoke them.
What was the last time?
Be honest.
Be honest.
Oh, man.
Be honest.
Boy, what time is it right now? East Coast. Oh boy, it's been a minute. No, I'm not a smoker, boy. I have
have,
asthma.
though. You
I have
have,
asthma. Everybody's been around that stuff growing up. You got to live and learn. It doesn't work good for
Brian,
me, and
the
I've
old
known
prospector.
I've known that
It doesn't
Everybody's
work.
been
No,
around
like
all
I
that
think it
stuff.
doesn't
I have
work.
asthma. It makes me feel lousy. Like I don't
Who
can't
smokes
do
their
that to
first
myself.
cigarette and goes, "That's working on me"?
A lot of people I think do that.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think people are into
That
it.
works.
Man. Yeah, I think they
Yeah.
get it and like that feels
People
good.
enjoy their first cigarette.
I bet
There's
there are
people that
I think
enjoy
there-
it?
Yeah, I think there are people who
Yeah.
enjoy it. And they're like, that feels great. You get a head
Yeah, a
buzz
little
or whatever.
buzz, Yeah.
I was under the impression that everybody who smokes cigarettes hates
Welcome
it.
to three dudes that don't smoke.
Don't smoke. Talk about smoking
I was
cigarettes.
under the impression that everybody that smokes cigarettes.
Just coughs
For me,
out
it's halfway
along.
through the second cigarette is when it's like, oh, that's the stuff.
Yeah.
I was under the
It takes
impression
a
that
while to get there,
everybody knows that it's
Yeah.
a pretty lousy experience,
sure.
but it looks cool. Like
Yeah.
people, like we all know that, right? Like you see a guy smoking a cigarette with a motorcycle helmet, and you're like,
So
Just
cool.
the helmet, not the.
the bike, I don't care.
Just the helmet.
Just
in
the
his hand.
helmet.
Yeah. Yeah, looks cool.
Yeah.
But not that cool, kids. It's not that cool.
5 or 6 years for me.
Thank
So I don't know.
Like Gilded Age, huh?
I like some things in this movie. I liked not just her curls. I thought his sideburns were also delectable. I thought the umbrellas were nice,
Sideburns were delectable.
delectable.
You liked his sideburns?
I thought they were good for the time. I thought they were good for the time.
A good showing for the
Yeah,
time. You
good.
think people are like, hey man, like he's high society?
He's
'cause
high.
those
He's high.
burns,
He's high
his chops?
society, as I like to say, high society.
He had a couple cigarettes.
Umbrellas were super dope. Honestly, if somebody could hook me up with a Gilded Age umbrella, that'd be super cool of you. I can't. I don't know if they would have made it through all the storms and stuff, but there has to be one out there. And I wouldn't even use it. I would just kind of like look at it. Yeah, that's it. Dan,
Are we doing? What are we doing?
like, what'd you like about it?
hot take?
Hot
still?
take.
We're
yes.
still at the hot
We're still
take.
at the hot take.
Yeah.
Yes. It felt like we went feels there briefly.
Here, I'll do a reminder.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this,
there we go.
My hot take, thanks for
It's a hot
asking,
take.
is this movie is interminable. I think it might still be going on somewhere. And I think the problem is twofold. Number one, every actor's commitment to being a part of this era is very different and is on a sliding scale from none at all. I woke up this morning in 2024 and that's where I've been my whole life, to complete and utter all in accents and everything. And so there's never a congruency of all of these people deciding at what level are we going to be in the Gilded Age. The Gilded Age has a lot of stuff in it that's fun and interesting. It also has a lot of stuff that's boring. Unfortunately, the fact that all of these actors are at a very different point in their acting journey. And I'm not trying to point out any one person that's bad. What I'm saying is that every
Describe their hair.
no,
Okay.
no, I'm just kidding. All I know is this, is that with something like this, it's very important that the entire cast be on the same page at to how much we're committing to the bit of being in 1895.
Which,
And
if you're watching this on Philo, is hilarious.
Oh
to
my
hear you
gosh.
say it while watching this
Yeah.
yes,
is fun.
it's great.
We're asking for
and
it,
the
man.
thing is like some people like are like it just is. There's not any consistency at all. This could be from any year, including this current year, and the mystery is so boring, made more boring by the Moors of 1895. You never get really anything interesting. Even the love triangle, I guess they were trying to like bring in some Bridgerton fans with a love triangle aspect of this. I just hated it. It was not good, and it's maybe the worst of the year. It's just boring. It's the cardinal offense of being boring is worse than being bad. And this movie has some bad acting, and then it's also boring. And those two things together sink it into the Gilded Sea.
It's time for all the feels. We were talking about what this movie gave us those feels, Brian.
Yeah, the feels. Emma and Derek, the newspaper titan, had really good chemistry, and I thought their chemistry was much better than her and the copper. And her and the copper kissed. Her and Derek did not, and they sort of left it open, like you said, like it will, they won't. There could be this triangle, but I thought their chemistry was really, really good, and I could have used to see them together a little bit more, and that ended up being my feels in this flick.
Good to see what's his name from Signed, Sealed, Delivered.
Norman
Dorman in the movie.
Right.
Always
Jeff.
good to see him.
Jeff.
I thought he was a deplorable character, so clearly he did a great job. And that's it, Dan.
I literally have written down in my notes, always good to see Norman Dorman.
There you go.
So there you have it.
Let's take a quick break. We'll come back and see if anything else has happened in Rhode Island lately. Until then, back on the show.
Deck the Hallmark.
Deck the Hallmark.
Hello, friends,
Oh,
comrades,
boy.
brothers, and sisters to Deck the
Tip of the
Hallmark.
cap to you.
Yeah.
Let's do it. I'll do it on a count of three. Ready?
One,
One,
two,
two, three. Nailed that.
Went
Follow
all the way over.
Philo.tv/DTH, I
Getting a
think, is
show today.
really getting an absolute showing. Let's do this, shall we? It's time for the Wait What is where we talk about what in this movie. We just go, wait, what? Brian?
Yeah, I thought we were promised a summer of balls. Not even
Yeah,
close.
that's the big one here.
Not
is
even
one
close.
ball.
The synopsis
That's not the movie's fault.
clearly said summer of balls.
They
and we
decamps.
don't see but one ball.
Yeah,
Just a
barely.
single
And
boy.
zero camps.
No camps,
No decamping.
no decamp,
No balls.
no
It
balls.
was a mess out there.
Yeah, so I thought we were gonna get a little bit more, a few more of those, but we didn't. And the one ball we did get was a disaster.
Yeah,
'Cause
real
The
bad.
guy
Yeah.
died. Mutton chops over there. Goddard and his disgusting facial hair. He was the guy who died. It was just so gross. The chops that he had.
You don't think I could, Brandon and I could maybe
You
pull
guys
it off?
should. You
shave this?
Just shave it right down the middle, just like a racing stripe on your face. My
You
man,
didn't think it was kind of cool?
no.
What
I
if he
thought it
was
looked
smoking a cigarette?
Probably cooler, and that vibe would
The
work a
thing
little
is
bit better.
because
Give him a
it's an
motorcycle
eight-
helmet.
Yes.
A motorcycle helmet? Is that what you're
Imagine
saying?
that guy.
Motorcycle helmet.
Motorcycle.
Yeah, I know it's
sick. Okay, I was
motorcycle.
about to say. It's
Come
like
on.
You doubled down. I didn't know.
He rides a quick pony.
If they smoke a cigarette in 1895, that's allowed in a TVG movie, right? Because it's time period
Time
appropriate.
appropriate. Yeah, they should have been.
I think they just can't put it to their mouth.
Okay, they
I
can
think they
have
can
it
hold
to
it,
look cool.
yeah.
Got it.
And
It's good to
then
know. I'm working on something.
Brady. Yeah, just good to know. Yeah, write that down.
a
Brady,
weird wink.
the brother who was in jail the whole time.
It's all people holding cigarettes, never smoking.
Never.
That is also one of Cody Frizz's tournaments coming up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Say no to dope.
We got him. Got him.
All right.
Okay. Brady was in jail for a while,
Motorcycle.
and he didn't realize he was hit in the back of the head until his sister found gold flecks on his head. Like she's like, "Oh, turn around! You got some gold here." And he's like, "Ow!" And she's poking him in the head. Like he didn't realize he was whacked in the back of the head the whole time he's sitting in jail. He's got a headache, sneaking Kit Kats through the window.
Yeah, we'll get there. Don't worry.
And did they not search the room? Like forensics and crime scene investigation has advanced so much, and I think we're all thankful for that.
100%.
But in this movie, they had to go back, like sneak back into the room where it had in the room, and then they start finding more evidence. Like, did they not give it a pass when they were there the first time? Like, let's
Shoddy
just see.
police work.
Yeah, like they just
Tale as old as time.
man. So I'm really glad that's advanced. And then just the runaway carriage scene was really great.
And it's good to see they used real horses.
They use real horses, except
They could have easily copped out there and not used real horses.
Yeah, there's a way to do it.
Thank God they used
They
real
use the
horses.
who are really good at it.
They're really good at horsing
and
around.
She dove out of the carriage. That was excellent. And as soon as she hits the ground, the carriage stops behind her. So it's almost like she didn't even have to dive out of the carriage. She just stopped. It just stopped. So, yeah, just a few there. Brand, you got anything?
I'm pretty frustrated that Dan didn't even laugh at my horsing around joke. Like pretty frustrated. It's
wanna
almost
run
like
it
you weren't
back?
listening. It's
I
almost like you.
wasn't
you
listening.
didn't catch that?
I
It
completely
was pretty
tuned out.
good.
I got to be honest. I'm sorry. That's on me.
Man.
Man,
I'm
so
sorry, man. It
horsing
was really
around.
funny. I'm sure when I listen back.
You're gonna really enjoy that. You're gonna feel pretty full.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
I know we all zone out during his late what's, but this one you're gonna regret. At one point, she goes to check her watch, and she's like, "Oh no, I gotta go." I am like 85% sure she was not wearing a watch. She does do one of these numbers. Let's talk about the doily.
Before we do that, I need you to know something. First of all, there's been a lot of talk of horses and a lot of talk of cigarettes and no talk of me.
Two favorite things.
And I
just assumed you were interject.
I know you're thinking, what the H?
The hockey sticks.
But I'm sorry. I'm packing for my sabbatical as I go on every year.
Where are you going
a
this
little
time?
bit late. I was supposed to leave Feb 1.
Annual sabbatical.
Yeah. Trinidad and Tobago.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a
I think
good
you got to
trip.
wear a toboggan the whole
Yeah,
time you're
you
there.
do,
I'm
you
not
sure
sure, but I'm going. I'm going to those
that's what-
to TNT.
Yeah.
TNT. Dynamite. Anyway, whores and cigarettes. Both great. Back to you, Brant.
Excellent drop in from
Yeah,
Rick
I gotta
there.
be honest. You might want to write that whole. Like, just
That's
get rid of that
phenomenal.
whole. Get rid of that whole thing. Speaking of getting rid of that whole thing, let's talk about that doily.
So get him out of here. Good old get him out of
I'm
here.
also participating in some sort of cigarette ultimate frisbee competition. I don't know anything else, but
You can't put.
Cody
can't-
called in his
can't put
favor.
it
I
to
owed
you.
him one.
You can't put butt to lips.
I owed him. I never would. I owed him one.
You never would.
You heard
Your
me.
voice begs to differ,
Yeah.
pal.
It's that
I'm
glass
a
box
vape
you're
boy.
in.
Let's talk about the doily. I don't know much about gilded fashion. I do know a doily on someone's head when I see it. I am 100% convinced that woman, who we all know her name, is Sharon, is wearing a doily.
head.
Heath Ledger.
She is wearing a doily. I don't care what anyone says. You can email me, brandon@deckthehallmark.com. I'm going to put it straight in the trash. She's wearing a doily on her head. I know one when I see one. No one knows doilies more than Bran. They used to call me Bran the Doily Man. And, and don't ask why.
Doily King.
I know
Know
a
everything
doily
about
when I
doilies.
see it. She was definitely wearing a doily.
Always doiling
And even though
around.
that one scene she tried to cover it up with a hat, you could tell
The doily.
below that hat,
Yep.
doily.
Rocking the doily.
She's all doily
Yes,
all
doily
the time,
through and through.
100%.
Yep.
Dan,
We hear early in this movie that our lead is half related to the Vanderbilts, and that is why I assume she has this wonderful mansion that she lives in. And then later she goes, well, if I keep following this story, I might lose my job, and I won't be able to keep a roof over our heads, she says to her maid. Now
Doily
I
head.
start realizing
Doily
as-
head.
Doily head Sharon, as we call it. That's a term of endearment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now I'm just realizing that she has afforded a Gilded Age mansion in 1895
Yeah.
based on a
Yeah.
woman's reporter's salary in 1895, which is nothing. It is so little. It is nothing.
Dude, real estate was so different
us
back
how
then.
you-
don't know
so
how it's
much
happening.
more affordable.
tell us how you really feel.
No
Dan.
kidding. They put her brother in jail only to find out that
Horsing
the
around.
jail is at the Ritz-Carlton with a window inside it. I don't like top 10 places to put a jail cell where you know something shady is going to happen. Number one is window. Number one is door or window in or around your cell. And if you want to tell me there were bars in between him and the window, yes, but anyone could sneak him any manner of things. For instance, Brian said a gun, Brian said a Kit Kat bar.
Yeah, and then, but
At the same
reverse the
time,
order.
Brand's like, I was like, yeah, you could still sneak stuff
Yeah.
up there. And Brand's like a gun, and Brian's like a Kit Kat bar.
Absolutely.
And both are true.
What's
Those
great-
are both contraband in jail.
What's great too about this here window is it's not just for Windows' sake. These are glass windows.
Yeah. No, you
Like,
could easily.
Yeah.
well, and that's the cool thing about like in prison is they're never trying to like create weapons out of anything. So
Yeah,
like having
yeah.
access to
Glass.
a full
Shard,
panel
yeah.
of glass, no temptation at all.
Prison's really evolved, too.
They've really evolved.
It's so clear that they constructed this prison cell in a room, and they didn't even try. They're like, it's the Gilded Age. There were
you need
windows
a
in
little
prison
light.
cells all the time.
You got to get some vitamin D in
It's
there.
ridiculous. That's all I got, Brand.
It's time for What the Hallmark. It's where we
Oh.
wonder what could have been, maybe having some clarity. Any questions that we still have? Ryan.
Yeah, I forgot I did this little bit of research. So I looked at the 1890 census, of course, and it says that
Oh my gosh, you looked at a census?
it was just there
Go
for the.
home.
It's just there for the
Go
reading.
home,
Anybody
go
can.
home,
Anybody can read it.
Go home.
Anybody can access
Don't
them.
boo. Vote.
Yeah.
They are
Just
they're
get 'em
just
outta
like-
here.
These censuses are just out where people
Yeah.
get for public
It's
consumption.
Like, it's like they were capturing this data in case an episode aired on the Movies and Mysteries channel about the Gilded Age, and sommelly might have
You ought to
needed
be
it.
ashamed of yourself.
What'd you find out
Anyway, I
about the
found out.
census?
So 35% of prisoners in the
Had
United
ginormous
States
hats.
couldn't even fit on their heads. Were female. So 35% of prisoners were female, which I thought was really low. And then I started thinking, do you think women got away with a lot more crimes back then because the men were like, oh, a woman couldn't kill somebody, and so they just like never looked at a woman as the main culprit? And so I'm like, 35%, like that's gotta be low. So I was just thinking about that. Like there had to have been so many mastermind criminal women who just were like, yeah, nobody, they're not even gonna catch. They don't even think. They don't even look over here. When they're just over there robbing banks and killing people, I just think that that's a low number of prisoners. You know, because the woman in this one the killer was a woman, and they like weren't even looking at her.
Aaron, as a criminal,
Yeah.
I'll let you speak to
Yeah,
this.
Aaron, let's hear
No,
the
I
criminal
was just going
talk.
to say, Brian, you should do some research on female apothecaries from that
Oh
time
my
period.
gosh.
And like the side businesses they were having of like supplying poisons to women to
Oh,
get
I
out of
love
like
that.
abusive situations.
Oh,
Yeah.
look,
So
I
you
bet.
should,
yeah.
yeah.
Look up any war before the 1900s, and the women were used as spies.
Yeah,
Like
right.
constantly.
Tip your hat to the woman?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
The cap.
yeah, absolutely, to the women,
right.
the apothecaries.
If you have some free time later, Brian, you want to do some more
Yeah,
research.
since you were reading
just-
censuses,
Yeah,
I just
man.
assume
I
you're
assume you
I'll
have
share this with
in
the
a
so
group.
much
padded
free
cell
time.
Yeah,
somewhere.
yeah, I'll share this
Yeah.
one. Just attach it to the email.
For fun. I bet you helped your son with his project this past
Yeah,
weekend.
it was a good. I learned a little bit about the
Yeah,
ecosystem.
That's what I thought. Those wreaths.
What did you learn about the ecosystem?
It all starts with the sun, really. The sun.
It's good. It's
And
good
the
stuff.
photoplankton.
Really good. Dynamite drop in.
If there's one thing that I wish I researched was like how often were other horses getting other horses to go ride off the road? I imagine that was an exciting
That's a
scene in
great
this
question, yeah,
movie.
man.
How I don't know if they'd cover that in the census, but maybe you can poke around to that boy later.
Absolutely.
But how
Dozens of
many?
pages.
Let's just go worst case scenario. How many deaths via head-on horse collisions?
Man, at least
don't know.
a dozen.
I don't know.
Wow.
Because she seemed very scared at this moment, so clearly maybe not something that typically happens. But I don't know. Sometimes I mean, this is still an animal. Sometimes they get a little excited, you know, as you do.
I do appreciate
beautiful
that
creatures.
in that scene, the horse is out of control. She cannot get the horse to stop, but as soon as she falls off the carriage, horse comes
Horse
to dead stop.
totes fine.
That's what I
Complete
said.
stop.
That
Yeah.
was one of
Puts
my.
horse
one of
around.
my
The horse was in
thoughts.
cahoots.
just-
Dadgummit, Dan. I am so mad at you right now. How dare you? Who do you think you are? Go ahead. Just
I
don't.
know.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Do your dumb thing. What do you have to say?
My dumb thing. See, you hear this? Does anybody hear this? The bullying that's happening right now. There's a second man that dies in this movie, and there's blood coming from his head, and that blood is thick enough to be jam. It is preserves. I don't. Well, I want to know what the set department did there. It is not blood. It's anything
Older
than
the man,
blood.
the thicker the blood.
That's what they say.
Yeah, stick in the
Yep.
water. That's for sure.
exactly right.
That's all I got.
We did, everybody. Congratulations. A good time.
Yep.
Every time.
Good time every time. Just do it. We're going to be back tomorrow with another thing, an interview.
Ooh.
Fancy.
I think will be fun. And then we'll be back next week with another whole week of Deck the Hallmark, if you can believe
just
it.
like that, huh?
Super Bowl Sunday, real quick. Brian, who you got?
Oh man, Titans are in it, right?
Yes.
We still got the Titans all the way.
Give me the Chiefs under the McCaffrey yardage total and over total points.
Man.
Give me
And Taylor, yes, no.
Rushing yards, not total yards.
Yeah,
sorry.
Taylor's a
give
yes.
me the Chiefs and give me a proposal on the fields. Aaron?
Ooh. Taylor proposes to Travis.
No, Taylor's proposing to the American people to vote for Biden. Go ahead.
Yes, I'm here for the. That's definitely going to happen. I think the 49ers are going to win.
Wow.
I love Sound bet. That's what
The
Vegas
Gold
says.
Rush.
Vegas says 49ers.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, in 2020, the Chiefs won, and we know how that went, so I'm hoping for a different outcome.
They also
So you're
went-
blaming the Chiefs for COVID?
It's part of
I'm
it.
hearing.
That's interesting.
Aaron
think there's
J,
a lot
producer
of-
of Deck the Hallmark,
Yeah.
blames the Chiefs for
And
COVID.
you hate Taylor Swift. This is a
Wow.
big
Oh, that
day.
is- Absolutely
a lot
not.
happening here. There's a
That
lot
is
happening
blasphemous.
here.
Well, pretty big day for you.
I would like to speak on that.
On the record.
Do you
Anti-Taylor
think?
Do not.
Well, what?
I do not hate Taylor Swift.
What is the percentage chance that there's a proposal on the field if the Chiefs win?
That's got to be a prop bet, right?
You mean like between Travis and Taylor?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
0.0?
There's some people that think the fact that she even went onto the field after the last game proves that they're already engaged. Because she wouldn't just, look at with how high profile she is, she wouldn't just go down there like that unless she was unless it was the real deal.
This was a real deal.
Like this year table. I'm going 100% chance of proposal on the field.
10% chance.
I just don't think. I don't think so.
I hadn't even considered it. I say 0%
I don't think you're allowed
chance.
to propose to a billionaire on a football field.
I'm saying she's proposing.
I would. If
she's
she proposes to him, I
proposing.
think
She's
that's a
proposing.
move. I love it.
Yep, that'd be pretty
Okay, I'm more on board with her proposing to him. I just don't think if he wins the Super Bowl that he's getting.
They
down on
win
me.
Super Bowl. She proposes. He retires. All in one
he's
evening.
retiring.
All in one evening.
cool. It's a big night.
It's a big night.
Big night.
I have to go to my war room for a little bit.
Travis Kelce's retiring, and he and Jason are going to do a Manning cast like thing. I guarantee.
Absolutely.
They're both
should.
retiring?
Right
Is
here
that
on the
what's
Bramble Jam
Kelce's
Podcast
already
Network.
retired. He's done.
Yeah, right here on the Bramble Jam Podcast Network. We'll be back.
We're
We'll be back.
acquiring new heights. Is that?
Yeah, pretty easy.
Yeah, it's a pretty
There
big
you go.
deal. Until
mad about
then,
it.
first to wish you a
Merry Christmas.
Deck the Hallmark is a Bramble Jam podcast. Is produced by Aaron Shea. For more information on Deck the Hallmark, you can go to deckthehallmark.com. For more information on the Deck the Hallmark family, you can go to bramblejamplus.com. Deck the Hallmark is presented by Philo TV. For a free trial of Philo, go to philo.tv/DTH.